Yes, we haven't got Facebook, but we've got YouTube. And in a minute, we should have Instagram. Yes. So good morning if you're joining on social media. I was just mentioning to the Zoom group, sorry we're a little bit late. There were some technical problems as usual. We're just going to focus a little bit today on our neck because we're focusing on breath, but if we don't have our head in the right place and we're doing a lot of tightness and tension with the neck and the shoulders, that's obviously going to affect how we breathe. So we want to make sure that we've got head in a good place, the rib cage in a good place, strong breathing muscles. So that's what we're going to explore today. But let's start off, as always, with our warm-up. So finding your comfortable standing position. I'm going to swap cameras out. I've got my nod to a Christmas tree in the background. It's a plant with a few lights on. So let's have a little bit of a shake out, gentle shake out. Shaking out the legs, shaking out the wrists. And then standing about shoulder width apart. Again, remember what we focused on last week. You can, if it feels comfortable, go parallel with the feet, so the feet are facing forwards. But if that creates weird feelings in the hips and the thighs and the ankles and the knees, just turn the feet out ever so slightly, whatever feels comfortable. But we want to make sure that we're grounded and stable and strong through that lower body. And then we can free up the upper body, rotating through the spine. Gentle breath in and out through the nose. Lengthen up through the neck as well. So that visualization as if you've been, or you are gently being lifted from the crown of the head. Remember that connection, the Qigong connection with earth. So really feel connected to the ground and at the same time feel connected to the sky. So lifting the crown towards the sky. Works every time. Anytime we start to feel tired and everything comes down, 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 just lengthen up, but still keep grounded, stable and strong through the lower body. Tapping across the back and the belly. Really relaxing into the shoulders, relaxing between the shoulder blades. Just a heads up about next week, Christmas week. The only session we won't be doing is Christmas Day, which I think is a Wednesday. Is Christmas Day Wednesday? But we will do the Monday next week. We'll do the Monday the week after as well. And if Christmas Day is a Wednesday, does that mean New Year's Day is a Wednesday? And I should have looked at this before I started telling you what days we're going to do next week. Slowing it down into water waves. Notice when you slow the movement, then maybe the breath slows with the movement as well. That breath is just so light, you don't have to breathe hard, it's soft, rhythmical. And take a moment, standing tall. Let's just bring our feet into hip width, and again, if it feels comfortable, parallel. Standing tall. Remember, with any movements that we do, particularly when we come to sit down and do some work with the head and the shoulders and the neck, we never want to force a movement, and the more we do movements slowly, mindfully, we're never in that place where we push and things go, spasm or hurt or anything. And always remember, if anything does hurt, you stop. That's not to say we can't challenge ourselves, push ourselves, but there's that difference between challenging yourself and pushing through where you feel as if you want to stop, as opposed to something that is painful and that is physically changing the way you physically move. Let's step back out again. Do our little spine roll. Remember, we tilt the pelvis. Remember again, that idea from Qigong is we move from the center, so we tilt the pelvis, but we want to keep that chest lifted, head lifted, chin lifted, until we get to the point where we drop and then roll back up. You might want to go a little bit wider on the feet on this one. And again, if you can, parallel. If not, not a problem, just turn the feet out a little bit. Tilt the pelvis, keep the chest lifted, keep the chin lifted, and then tuck the pelvis underneath to roll the spine up. Really get that nice wave through the spine. Imagine each of the vertebrae in the spine moving individually or separately. Keeping the legs straight but not locked. Nice for that lengthening out of all of the back chain of the fascia and the muscles. And just breathing easy. Go slow, 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 slow. Really stretch out the neck, the front of the neck, the throat with this one as well. Really lift the sternum, keep that sternum lifted as high as you can before you roll down. Let's do two more. Nice and steady, nice and slow, rhythmical. And then stand tall. Sorry, I think the camera's gone a bit blurred again. When it gets a little bit dark, I blur out. Let me walk a little bit towards the camera and then come a little bit away from the camera, and hopefully it clears up. A little bit of dog wags the tail. Shifting side to side, freeing up that spine. Sideways. And then slowing down. Let's do 3 pulling down the skies into a couple of moments of bamboo in the wind before we sit down and do our neck work. So breathing in, breathing out. Imagine you just pushing something down, a little bit of resistance as you push down. A little bit of resistance as you pull up. Breathing in, feel the weight of the elbows, of the shoulders. Looking up. Breathing out. Resting your hands on the lower down chin, bringing the feet together. Closing your eyes. And just letting your body gently rock and sway. Really notice how the shoulders and the head and the spine feels. And then take a calm, full breath in through the nose. So really fill the lungs with air. Feel the rib cage expand. Hold the breath for a couple of moments, a couple of beats at the top of the breath, opening your eyes and then letting that breath go. Gentle brush down. And then just take a seat. You can do this standing, but it's most probably best seated on a solid chair or on the floor. Take your time just to find a comfortable seated position. I will swap cameras back to this one. Good. So we're going to do a little bit of work on the neck, the head and the neck and the shoulders. I really stress that if you have any pain or if you have any issues with the neck, don't do it. Don't force anything. So I really don't want anybody pushing and forcing and straining their neck, please. When we're working with the neck and the shoulders and the spine, the first thing always to consider is lengthen up first. So it's nice to put your hand a couple of inches above the crown and then just reach up towards the hand. So you lengthen the spine. It's like, imagine you've got a spring, and if you have a spring, it's all compressed and squashed. You're just creating that little bit of space between each of the vertebrae. So you have a nice long neck, a nice long spine. We're not tucking the chin down like this, but we're just making sure that we're not straining forwards with our chin, and then just resting the hand on top of the head. So we're now on the crown of the head, and we're going to take your ear towards the shoulder. Now it's very tempting to do this and go, oh yeah, I can really get my ear towards the shoulder. Keep that chin in line with the spine. And just go to the point where you feel, yeah, that's enough. You can feel that, the edge there. I'm not pushing and forcing. We tend to, when we stretch, think about pushing as hard as we can, But remember, if we push too hard, our body tightens up because it goes, I don't want to do that. So you just get that stretch reflex and everything tightens. So you want to get to the point where it's not tightening, you feel that gentle bite. And you can breathe, because if we stop breathing, we know we've gone too far. So you can breathe very gently in and out through the nose. And when you feel that little bit of bite here, what I'd like you to do is imagine that you're trying to bring your head back to balance on top of the shoulders, but the hand is stopping you. So you're bringing your head back, so you start to create a little bit of more tension in a good way in the muscles here, but you're doing that by bringing the head back on top of the spine. And again, you can breathe into it. So we're creating what is called isometric contraction. You're contracting the muscle but holding it in a position. It's a bit like, right, I'm just going to hold the bicep like that. You're creating isometric contraction, which is strengthening these muscles in the side of the neck. We often focus a lot on stretching and loosening and not enough on strengthening, and we have to combine the two. And again, I'm not gritting my teeth or pushing and pushing and pushing. I'm just creating that little bit of tension, that little bit of isometric contraction. Breathing with it. Breathing, 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 breathing. And then very slowly, just bringing the head back to balance on top of the spine. And then we'll do the other side. So lengthen again. Crown of the head. Lift, 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 lift. Because if we don't do that, we'd be here and we're like, oh, that feels really good. So lengthen, 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 lift, 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 lift. And then ear towards the shoulder. Keeping this shoulder down so you feel that little bit of a bite. And then when you get to the little bit of bite there, you're aiming to bring your head back on top of the spine, but this hand is resisting it. So we're just creating that, again, that little bit of isometric contraction. Keep that chin down so we're not lifting and looking like that. Breathing gently. Breathing gently. And then very slowly again, just bring the head back to balance on top of the spine. And then let's take a look side to side. So here, just going really slowly, shoulders are facing forwards. You're just looking slowly to one side. Hold that position where you just feel a little bit of a bite there. And then back to center. We're not doing anything fast or aggressive. And then other side, use the eyes to look. Again, lengthen the crown. Relax into the jaw. Back to center. If you feel you need to, just give your shoulders a little bit of a movement, a little bit of twist through the spine. And then we're going to bring the chin to chest, lengthen the back of the spine, and you're just going to put your hands just on the back of the neck there. Do you know when we've done like this nice neck massage and we've got the thumbs into the muscles at the back of the neck, just resting your hands on the back of the neck. And then the same thing is you're just going to aim to bring your head back on top of the spine, but you're just going to resist a little bit Now I'm not pulling my chin down towards to the chest. Don't think of stretching the back of the neck. You get to the point where you feel that little bit of tension, but then you bring in your neck back. You're pushing your head back and you're resisting that. And we're not doing it aggressively. Really stress that. If anything hurts, you stop. Don't want anybody with bad necks. Bringing the head back. Feels nice, it really feels nice all the way down the back of the spine as well. And then very slowly, just bringing your head back on top of the spine. Then we'll do, how are we time? That's good. Then we'll do that little bit of vagus nerve stimulation as well, which is very similar to what we've done, but we're not doing that isometric contraction. So we will go hand on crown, lift, 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 bring ear to shoulder. Keep that chin down. And then, let me just jump on the other camera so you can see. So we do an ear to shoulder. And then you're taking the opposite rib and sliding across. And then you're focusing your eyes away from the ear to shoulder. So watch that we don't use the chin to look up there. So you're looking ear to shoulder, and then you're looking with the eyes, so we get that nice work with the eye sockets. And just breathing into that. It's always best to take your glasses off when you do this, and I always forget. You can see the nice frame of the glasses. And then slowly back to balance on top of the spine. And the other side, lengthen first, hand on the head. Oh, go ear to shoulder first, nice and slow. This is why it's important also to be sitting on a solid surface, because we don't want to be down like this, so we don't want to be rounding that lower back. We want to have a nice tall spine. Ear to shoulder, feel the bite, then bring that rib cage across, just slide the rib cage across, and then eyes up and to the side, looking in the opposite direction. Breathing easy. And then very slowly balance head back on top of the spine. And what's nice to finish that little sequence off is a bit of dog wags the tail sitting on the chair. Again, remember this has to be a nice solid surface. If you've got a chair that wobbles side to side or rocks side to side, don't do this. But if you've got a nice solid surface, you're just shifting the weight from sits bone to sits bone. And what is good about this one is you can't tilt the pelvis because your pelvis is on the surface that you're sitting. And what I'd like you to do is not think about moving the head and the neck. It just happens because you're just moving the spine. You're just shifting the weight side to side and everything's just following from that. Again, thinking of Qigong and that idea of moving from the center. And take a rest. Sit tall. And we're just going to do 3 minutes of very light, gentle, soft breathing. I'm going to give you the count. We haven't done the count for a while. Going to give you a count of breathing in for 4 beats and out for 6 beats. So just let the breath settle. Relax into the face. Soften and relax into the brow, to the eye sockets. Soften and relax into cheekbones and jaw. And then just taking a very gentle breath out and breathing in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breath in, breath out. Soft, light breath in, and then just gently let go of the breath, breath out. All in and out through the nose. Breath in, breath out. In, out. In, out. In, out. Feel that length in the spine, nice strong neck. Breath in, but relaxed jaw. Breath out. In, out. In, out. We'll follow 2 more breaths. Breath in, out. In, out. And then just take a moment, let your breath settle. Maybe you stay with that rhythm. Maybe it feels calm and relaxing and very comfortable to stay with that rhythm. And then we'll take a full breath, a nice calm full breath in. Expand the lungs. As you do that, we might want a little bit of a stretch, a little bit of a twist, and a let go. Brill. Excellent. Sorry about the technical difficulties at the beginning. Facebook didn't come online, but hey, hopefully they'll be back on Wednesday. Yep, I'll see you on Wednesday. Thanks as always for your support. And as I say, next week we will be doing the Monday session. So we will be back next week for our Monday session, just not Christmas Day. And then we'll be back to normal after that. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you for your time. And I'll see you Wednesday. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.